Oh, hey, it's time for another contest results show. Sorry about the delay. I was on the road all day Tuesday, and just about everything in my life got pushed back a day. I guess that's why the artists have me in this car. That's a little on the nose, guys. Anyway, the wait is over, and we're only a few minutes away from finding out who won those copies of Bloxiq for the PS Vita. So on Saturday, I asked you to come up with ideas for 20th century toys that could be turned into video games. You did not disappoint. Here's what you said. Up first, we have Justin Forsyth, who says, Peg board game. Rig the controller for an electrical zap when you don't get enough pegs. 3 or 5 left standing? Zap. You're an idiot. Forget the peg board. Every controller should shock you when you do something dumb. Christopher Hill says, of course, slot cars would make a great puzzle game. All the fun of trying to figure out how to get that cool track together, only to find out you're missing 1 or 2 crucial pieces, then kind of rig it to work anyway. Childhood engineering at its finest. Yeah, but these days all those pieces would be sold as DLC. Next up, we have Denku Meihai, which I'm probably messing up, but I'm going to say confidently anyway. Jenga with online multiplayer and a slightly tweaked surgeon simulator controls. It'd be interesting to see how hard or easy the game would be with perfectly identical playing pieces. No easy slide outs or unfairly weighted sides. It'd probably work as a single puzzle experience by giving interesting starts and forcing you to remove a certain amount of pieces. Since as a game, they could easily add different shapes and attributes to the pieces to add challenge and depth. Even better, Jenga vs. Boom Blocks. Next up, we have Mando Rodriguez, who says, Ballin Cup with motion controls. Because back in the day, that was the business. I feel like this is every Wii game I reviewed between 2006 and 2008. So the next 3 entries are all what you might call the finalists. I've had a hard time choosing a winner, so I'm just going to read all 3 of them and see what happens. The Devil Burning says, you didn't say sex toys were excluded. How about some of those sex toy Wii games? It could be a cross between Night Trap, Hellraiser, and every dark corner of the internet. Except it's interactive. You pick from a variety of perverse doors that lead you into full-motion videos and QuickTime events, where you have to dominate or submit to your guests in a variety of every sex toy known to man, not excluding the infamous Bad Dragon. The puzzle aspect of the game comes into play when all the methamphetamine in your bloodstream causes your inner demons to surface, and you end up hacking the customers into pieces and you have to piece them all back together, and walk them out of the brothels like Weekend at Bernie's waving hello and pretending. Wait, you already did a contest asking for the worst game ideas. Did I win yet? 50 Shades of not yet. Vamp V is another finalist. They say, I'd make the board game, Don't Wake Daddy, into a puzzle game. Of course, everything these days has to be gritty and dark, so the puzzle game would reflect this. You play as the child of a violent alcoholic. Daddy spends all day working, so he just wants to come home and sleep after chugging down a 6-pack. As long as he's allowed to slumber, he's fine. But things won't stay this way if you start stirring around and wake him up by making too much noise. Unfortunately, you have things to do, so you can't just sit around and stay quiet all night. Each level consists of trying to accomplish a task in different rooms of the house. Figure out how to make dinner in the kitchen without banging the pots and pans. Watch your favorite TV show in the living room, but make sure Daddy doesn't hear all the noise and loud action scenes. And try to be quiet as possible while finishing your project for shop class in the garage. Each puzzle has multiple solutions. And of course, you're only allowed to make a certain amount of noise before Daddy wakes up. Because if he does, it's definitely game over. What makes this game even harder is that it stars Octodad. And then there's Keckler, who said, one of the things that puzzled me the most growing up were some of my Transformers toys, especially if I had lost the instructions. Some of those were hard to transform from vehicle to robot and vice versa. I could see it being a difficult puzzle game based on changing vehicles, animals, etc. into robots and other shapes. You could be presented with one form and a picture of the final look, or leave the picture out and make it even more confusing. That's exactly how it was with some of my toys. What the heck was this supposed to look like again? Pro tip: everything transforms with a hammer. Reading those didn't make my decision any easier. So here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of giving out 2 codes for Bloxiq, I'm gonna give out 3, one for each of the 3 finalists. Sorry I don't have enough for everybody, but I do appreciate you playing along and coming up with good video game ideas. Before you even think about unsubscribing, we'll be back on Saturday for another contest. This week we'll be giving away Project Root, which we just reviewed on Tuesday. Future contests will include Brawl, Shadowrun Chronicles, and Why Am I Dead at Sea? We'll be back in a few hours with reviews of Brawl and Shovel Knight, so keep an eye out for those. In the meantime, check out our Project Root and Ziggurat reviews, and let me know if you think I made the right decision.